Hey guys, so I'm going to tell you about a few things that are coming up that are available to start using now for Reteach plans. So, what you can do through your groups, you go to the elementary math and you'll click on the resources. You'll go to your grade level and then you'll scroll down until you get to the intervention and Reteach resources. Okay. So this is in each of the grade level folders, the reteach plan template. So if there's one you would like to reteach, you can fill it out um, based on what you would like to do. Okay. So what if you to pull up yours for your grade level, this is also it links to all three grade levels. If you want to know what the teaks are needed for based off DA1 areas of need. Okay. Once you scroll down, it'll show you the teaks on the left, a little bit of explanation, and when those folders are ready to go. So most of the folders are ready to go. So you would just look up, this teak in your folder. So if you go back and let's say 5.3K, 5.3E, I know 5.3D as well. So I would scroll down to that folder, 5.3D. I go into that folder and at the top, hopefully at the top and maybe at the bottom is the reteach plan. So you click on that and then it'll give you the lesson ideas and misconceptions for that particular teak. Okay, let me scroll back to the top. Okay, so know it is what they need to know coming into your grade level. So for this particular one, 5.3D, they need to know this before they come into 5th grade. Now, the show it is what they should be able to do when they leave your grade level. Okay. So there are 2 questions on DA1 that the students had trouble with. And so this is one, and it gives the percentages based on these happen to be the percentages for the district, but you can do one on your campus level. So the correct answer is C. 67% got it correct, and then it has the percentages for all of them, so you can kind of get an idea of what some of the common errors that students made based on the answers. And then the misconceptions. So it's definitely for this one, because when they multiply, they get that 0, they get 140. If they're multiplying without the decimal and then they place a decimal after, so they will go in between the 1 or the 4 and the 0, and they think that, oh, well, there's a decimal there, so it can't be 14, so it must be 1.4. So definitely a place value issue. And then the second question of that same teak, and then the question breakdown. So based on the information of the less than 50 and less than 60%, this question, this question met the percentage, was fine, but the second question was not. So that's why it was added. The first question was added because it still follows with that same teak, the models. So yes, they see and understand that models go with it, but when it comes to this particular model, they didn't understand it. So when you go further down, you have 2 sample reteach plans. So this one has different activities and it'll give you the link to those activities. So the exit tickets And the practice will be in the Schoology folders. Let me click on back to the Schoology. So that should be in that same folder, all ready to go for you. Okay, so the stimulus activity. So let's see. So let's use, if I go to sample one and I want to see what this everybody writes is, I just copy that and then paste it. And it's going to make me copy that file so that I don't mess up the original. Okay, and this particular everybody writes, students will list anything they know about multiplication using models, and you give them a certain amount of time. Then that particular YouTube video, then roll a word. It's the same, that's kind of the same thing when it with each thing you make a copy of it into your folder so that you're not messing with the original. Okay. And then it gives you for this particular one, roll a word. So if you are not fifth grade and you like the idea, you could come in here and make a copy of it and use it for one of your things. Now, this spinner does work, but it will take you, once you click on it, hit present, it'll take you to that web page directly where you can, where the students would not be able to edit. They would just click on it and wherever it lands. So draw it, describe it, and so on. So then for their first word, they would describe a whole number in their words. Okay. And that's the same for each of these. So there's an exit ticket for both places. So the idea is you could have 2 days of lesson, or you could do mix and match for 1 day of lesson for this particular teak. Okay. So um like I was saying, sorry. They are in the folders ready for you to go. And you'll just use that sheet, this sheet, the whole group reteach for elementary to find which teaks those are available in. I would start maybe try to fit in one a week, because third grade has quite a bit. And if you needed to, you could do it. It's based on a whole group, whole day type lesson. So take that into consideration when planning. If you needed to, think about all the parts, and if you had to break it down into multiple days to do mini lessons, or use a day of lab to do a whole group reteach, because I mean that's what lab is for, but you're wanting to make sure that those students who did poorly on it are the ones attending. uh, the other ones can attend as well, but you want to make sure those are attending, definitely attending. If you have any questions on how to access some of these things, let me know. And start planning on how to fit these in. I know that, with testing coming up, as we usually do during December, if you finished a unit and you only have like 2 days before the end of the break and they're live days or whatnot, or 2 days before whatever activities that we do, like in the past, um, Polar Express, things like that. I don't know if we're doing that this year or not, but if you know that starting a unit there's 2 days left before the break. And you know that starting a unit before we come back is not beneficial because you would just have to reteach those 2 days anyways. Take these 2 days to do your reteach, a couple of your reteach teaks. Okay? And these are based on the cumulative for the district. And 5th grade has 2 more, 5.3D and 5.2C. Okay. Thanks, guys.